We will talk more, yes.
This meeting can be viewed in real time online and is being recorded. It will be available on the village website for up to 6 months. By attending this meeting, you are hereby giving consent to being visible online or to being recorded for future viewing over the internet. Also, all information provided at an open meeting of council or its committees is considered public. If you provide or disclose your personal information to us for that purpose, including delegations, presentation, speaking during public comment period, submitting correspondence or written public comment, you are consenting to that information being available to the public, including through posting on our website or webcast. We ask everybody to silence their cell phones. Oh yeah, we'll close the order. Lead items. Promotions off the agenda.
So moved. No, second.
All in favor, we can actually vote. Let's try it. There we go, carried. Okay. Looking for motion for the minutes for July 14, 2026 regular meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any errors or omissions? Hearing none, you can vote. Carried. Okay, correspondence for information.
I'd like to put two,
Okay.
the Manitowoc letter and the Summerfield letter.
I'd like to add Caradwin Annual's letter.
Hang on 1 second. I just made a screen. Okay. And what were the other things?
Carries. Caradwin, oh, and Janice Summerfeld. The three from, the three. Our three
So all three
constituents.
Goblins.
Yes.
That makes it even easier. You got those?
Yeah.
Okay. Rest, do we seek for information?
I'll move to receive them.
I'll second.
Okay. In favor? Okay. For a motion to receive the Village of Endeavors Q2 2026 financial report.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I love his notes.
Okay, anyone else? Get to vote.
So clicking around more, but it's here.
Carried. Council reports, verbal reports. You can start there.
Through July, I've gone to quite a few of the arts-based events. Music in the Park has been a success, same with shows at the Hidden Garden Gallery and dance camp and music school. With music school happening again this week. So that's been great. Also attended some additional building permit committee meetings. I just wanted to acknowledge the current public issue with the bulletin board and that someone's removing all the posters. And it's great to see that in the comments and discussion, people are recognizing that this is not a village-owned bulletin board. It is not, for staff is not removing them. So it's not policing what goes up or what doesn't go down. But it is a public issue that's causing quite a bit of strife for people because it impacts people's businesses and events and all these things. And so I'm not sure how the issue gets resolved, but I just want to acknowledge that we see that there's an issue and it's causing, I think it's causing people like a lot of hurt. You know, like they put up it takes time to put posters and it hurts to have them be removed. in the way that it is happening. And so I just want to acknowledge that. Other thing that staff also posted about on our village Facebook page is that there's a local government candidate readiness workshop on August 18th, Tuesday, 6 p.m. in Castlegar. There's also a viewing party being hosted at Fireweed Hub. So any prospective candidates for any of the nearby municipalities or Area H, I would encourage them to consider going. I went last election to the one in Castlegar and found it very useful. And so that's just PSA there for people who are interested in the fact that we have elections coming up. And if they want to join this table or in Silverton or Slocum, wherever, they can learn more about it.
If they can see people who were no person, because for a while there was one individual that was going there and cleaning off
The bulletin board.
yes.
Mm.
And then we were able to ask the RCMP to speak with the person, but that's the only way we really can do anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Joe?
Yeah, I went to a couple of music in the park and had open mic on August 8th and yeah, it was good, great performances. Really nice that there's the village has given in kind for 5 performances, kind of unlike what one of the performers said at that. Black's doing a great job. It's really neat performances. I was at Camp Valhalla and the migration of the toilets this year has gone through Camp Valhalla as opposed to the provincial park where there's actually none. And it's really interesting. So anyway, the kids, the staff at Camp Valhalla has organized the kids and it's in the updraft where they sort of kept track of how many toilets and it looks like there's over 40,000. That was like a few days ago. Carrie's seen what a river of toads looks like. Yeah, it's unbelievable. But anyway, and they're taking them across and Toad Fest is canceled because there's no toads in the usual crossings and they're all going through Camp Valhalla for some reason, who knows? In any case, over 40,000 toads in there. There's 2 streams and they're taking them across the highway and putting them in the stream. So they got a sort of water to get up in this drought. And we'll see what happens. So that's pretty cool. There's the ESS, which phoned the local coordinator for RCK. Has got 4 of the local ESS trainees. They're on standby to go to Penticton. One's gone to Penticton. And Nikki Blackshaw's on standby to go to Penticton and work there. So it's nice that we've got these trained up volunteers. And there's some police checks I've organized tomorrow for a couple that are trained up, but they just haven't got their police check yet. So that's good. Rec 6, I'll talk about it. Art, did I talk about Art in the Cohan? That was really cool. Anybody who went that, it was awesome. I spent a bunch of money unexpectedly, but it was really, really good. Really well done and apparently not as many people as in past years, I think the smoke, but it was still well attended. That's it.
Yeah, kudos to Slack and Music in the Park. I remember so many years ago visiting Music in the Park in Castle and saying to our first council, we should have a stage like they do. We should have music in the park. So nice to see it finally happening. I attended the August 8th Silverton Community Club Volunteer Appreciation Day. It was a potluck and Julie at the camp provided her traditional loads of gourmet treats. I also toured Camp Valhalla with Councillor Fiken, RCAO. Thanks for the ice cream cones, by the way.
You're welcome.
I've been getting comments too. about someone in this town unilaterally deciding what's allowed to, be on the downtown bulletin board. I have one suggestion that possibly the village could partner with the Chamber of Commerce and put in some type of a protected bulletin board like they do on SBS in Silverton. That's a thought. Anyway, it's making a lot of people mad that one person takes upon himself to decide what can go and what can stay. I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I've heard about the individual speaking at the taken away from the great work that's been going on in the park and music in the park. And I mean, if that person has an issue with me or council itself, that is not helping. They can, my name is Leonard Casey, my phone number is 250-551-4003. They'd like to call and chat. Find it very disrespectful for the whole community that enjoys those spaces that work. It's not this council or any council. Very unfortunate somebody takes on those and gets misinformation and spews it. But apparently that's the world we live in today. Okay, regional district could be discussions going on adjusting the stipends for the board members and stuff. It was then passed on again to the next council RD meeting, which will be.
Majority to attend,
Yes.
is what you're saying? Okay.
For discussion again, as they try to sort out how they realign those stipends and stuff. That was the biggest piece of it all. West Valley Community Regional Hospital District, there is no meeting. Rec 6.
I don't really have any updates other than the grant cycle is gonna be coming up really fast.
The grants have opened,
Yeah,
last week. The fall grant session opened, and, I've got the closing date here, but yeah, the grants are open for Rec 6. So if you know anybody who's gonna apply for Rec 6, tell them to go for it. Go to the RCO website and work on it. With Rec 6, I walked in about 3 weeks ago and there was a sign on the wall that, remove all your shoes from the racks and otherwise, by July 31st, otherwise they will be collected and disposed of. I'm going like, no, you can't do that. Because the first thing people are going to do is go to the village office frustrated, demanding compensation and for their lost shoes and then staff time is gonna get sucked up in nothing but frustration. So I'm chasing it down. So what I've got a medium or in the middle is I've taken all of the shoes off of the racks. It's not over yet. I've taken all the shoes off the racks, tied them together. And I got from the Newmarket, I got one of the watermelon bins and I put the watermelon bin in the gym, threw all the shoes in the watermelon bin. This is what I was
I'm
directed.
hoping that they're tied like one pair to the next pair, to the next pair, to the next pair, so we can like.
Imagine how we first pulled it, I was like, why? But I got it.
I tied the pairs of shoes together.
Okay,
Very.
That's what I thought when we first.
that's what I pictured.
I tied the pairs of shoes together. It's tempting though. I couldn't go back.
I think it'd be some.
Anyway, and so for some reason, the person, I don't actually recognize her name before, has decided that there's too many shoes and we need to get rid of the shoes. So they're not a safety issue. It's worked well for 2 years. And at the next Rec 6 meeting, I'll bring it up because it's worked well. And we don't have any supervision. We can only get cleaned twice a week, unlike the rec center at Castlegar or Nelson, where they're cleaned every day and they got supervision. Plus, when you walk into the rec centers, you walk over a whole bunch of mats, you walk down halls, and even if you use, which you don't, you're not allowed to, even if you use your outdoor shoes, they don't track a lot of stuff in because you walk off a clean parking lot. But if you look at our parking lot, every time it rains heavy, all the sand gets washed down right in front of the steps.
Yeah.
And the cleaners are actually, Ben is actually sweeping every time she cleans and vacuuming outside. And so the idea of not having clean shoes there to make it easier for people to do the right thing is just antithetical to me, but that's my story. So the next Rec 6 meeting, I'll try and figure out why. That's it for Rec 6.
Thanks.
So just to be really clear, if somebody actually views this company, it is not the village's staff's decision to remove the shoes or have anything to do with it. So please respect our staff and do not come in complaining. The posted phone number for the regional district of Central Kootenai, phone them. They are the ones who are responsible for the idea of having shoes removed and responsible for that site in the meeting.
I forgot, I put a sign up and the sign reads, if you're looking for your shoes, read this. And it says your shoes are in a box in the gym, read this. And so it tells them what's happened and, you know, where your shoes are. If you don't, you know, whatever, it tells them what to go through. And then there's an email address to address RCK if you think this is kind of silly, but it seems to me pretty tough to, the logic behind removing or creating more friction for people to do the right thing and just have clean shoes there. So anyway, it's, I mean, the overall scheme of the universe is gonna be okay.
Okay, Spokane Valley Service Committee, next meeting is on Wednesday, September 2nd at 7 p.m. And we're still discussing the library. No, fire committee, fire department has responded since July to August, whatever date it is today. Has responded to 18 calls, everything from water, motor vehicles, motorcycles, power lines, false alarms. Some days there were 3 calls, there was 3 calls in a day. State-Bill Advisory Committee,
No meeting.
Library Status Committee.
Two things. The draft service agreement is still with the Trust Library Board. Still waiting to hear the RDCK board and staff discussion, read the North Slocan Library Service Contribution Bylaw, currently with RDCK staff, I believe. We've got an August 21st meeting scheduled with senior provincial library staff. Basically just to reconnect, touch bases, maybe get some opinions and more advice. We've now got our fancy new library bookmarks available to members only. So if you want one, sign up and become a member. Our fancy new membership cards are there, ready for pickup. That's about it.
Accessibility Advisory Committee.
No meeting.
Okay. Building Design Review Committee, we have,
I would like to make a motion to accept Greg Shorter's resignation with thanks for his service on the committee.
Second,
I just have a question. Are we gonna try and replace Greg now or leave it to the incoming council?
We've put up,
Recruitment ad. So we'll see what comes up on that.
there isn't a set number of individuals that need to be on that committee.
It would be nice to have a third though,
Yeah.
because having only 2 feels very
I bet.
small.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot of,
well,
it's not really a lot of power, but it feels like it'd be nice to have another voice at the table and another perspective.
okay. Anything else? Oh. Carried. Okay. Old business. DVP 711 Union Street. Looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second the recommendation.
Any more discussion?
Yeah, I spoke to the property owners again, and just to confirm with staff, the carport access is gonna be from the south part of the island, and they're gonna need that stump removed sooner than later. That's a big one. It'll be interesting to see how we do it.
Anyone else? Vote. Carried. Friends of the Orchard request the relocation of Bolton Ward.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Here again, I find it strange how through all the back and forth discussions, nobody ever thought about sun direction or sprinkling concerns. But, it's the owner of 313 First Avenue is okay with it, so am I.
Yeah, Mass is good with it apparently from the letter, so. I mean, that's kitty corner to me, so it makes a lot of sense for sure.
Okay. Vote. Carried. Quicker than I can see.
This is so much better.
Really, no lag.
Okay. New Denver Silver Active Transportation Trail feasibility study.
I'll move the recommendation.
Sorry,
I'll move.
okay.
Any discussion?
No.
Me. Okay. Okay, memorial bench, Jordan.
This one,
I'll second it.
55.
so this bench has already been ordered, I take it.
Yeah, the bench has been ordered and the plaque is the one that's iffy, like they're gonna rush it. But we had to sweet talk them to take a payment a different way than typical yesterday to get it as quickly as possible, so. Fingers crossed that it'll get in on time.
Those plaques take a while, we ran through it with
Mhm.
the Cenotaph, too.
Yeah.
Discussion. Vote. Carried. Downtown revitalization information plan, official community plan review, and read.
I'll move the recommendation.
Seconded.
Give them a chance.
I'll second.
Oh, thank you, Dale. Appreciate it.
So you've got one.
Yes.
Carrie brought these. I asked if I could see it and then
Yeah, it's just one copy of each, because all of the proposals are confidential, so I couldn't put them on the public agenda.
Okay, so was the discussion, yeah?
Good.
Second, with all of the scoring, are we ever gonna get access to how things were scored? Like, was it close, I guess is all I'm really asking.
The top two were very close and it came down to value in the end for money.
Money?
Yeah.
Okay,
I should say, the top two were close for the OCP.
okay,
The number two contender for the OCP didn't bid on the downtown plan.
okay,
And there was, Jess and I talked, there's a lot of value of having the same one. do
Okay,
both
I
of
get it.
them.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, so we don't really, it's just, it is what it is, that's good, okay, perfect.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just interesting because in the past, I feel like I'm trying to remember that there have been times when we've seen like the bids and like the values or seen packages, but I take it that was not maybe the correct practice.
That would have been when you did the media proposals for the Nikkei Center. And that process, none of the packages were marked confidential. So
Got it.
a different industry, I guess, but every single package I got in this was like, don't publish us anywhere.
Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if council chooses, it doesn't sound like you're going to, but if you did, like, we could take this discussion in camera later and actually go through all the proposals.
There was a process, there was a number of staff.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I read all of that, but it's more like, why did we see stuff last time versus this time? And that's the answer, which I think makes sense.
Okay, any others?
No.
Okay. Annual audit contract extension.
I'll move the recommendation.
One second.
Oh. Sunset or something? It's an echo. Any discussion?
That's a lot of money.
It sure is, yeah.
You know, I guess if people question the financial acumen of the council, I mean, we're paying these guys a lot of money to make sure everything's right, eh? Holy, it just seemed like that's a lot.
And those, because we do it with through Nelson, and we do it as a group for 2 other communities. I guess. It saved us quite a bit. We spent more than that.
Really? No kidding, okay.
But because we use Nelson, they win in the 2 other communities. Financial often for it, then it's a. It's the same one Nelson uses.
Expedites their processing, yeah, okay,
Yeah, I believe.
okay. No, other than I was just,
Yeah.
Maybe how much it costs.
26 or something. Like that. It's ridiculous.
well,
And staff time,
yeah,
like lots of staff time.
mhm. Yeah, I wonder what the total is if you factored in the staff time as well,
yeah.
30 grand?
No.
I'm not sure, but a lot.
It's a lot, because as they go through it, they ask for, okay, fine.
Mhm,
Let's just search through it or answer the questions, why is this way? And blah, blah, blah. It's a lot, it's a pretty stressful week to 2 weeks it takes of staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a simple thing. Yeah, it shouldn't be.
No, it's good, it just blows me away how much it costs.
Yep, okay. Very good. Okay. Naming stage in Centennial Park.
We'll move this.
I'll second it then.
Standoff. You gotta do rock, paper, scissors, you guys. Come on. Okay.
It's so boring.
What would you?
Sorry, is that now on record? I'm sorry. I don't know, but it is funny because like some people are calling it the bandstand, which is just what it is, but yeah, I mean, I've heard the whispers of like, what's the stage called? What is it? You know, da, 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 da. Okay, it's just the Centennial Park.
Your suggestion then?
I have no suggestion. I have no ideas, no creative juices on this one. But it's like, okay. That's fine.
If we really hate this name, we could put it out as a community and take ideas. Personally, I'd like to see a sign on the stage, whatever it is. And they got some pretty cool neon signs now.
Oh my goodness.
They have remote
I don't know if
control,
that fits with the community plan.
all sorts of visual events. Imagine it in the car with the right band, you know, I
Can
mean,
you hook
think
it up,
about
can you hook it up to the music, so like.
it. You know, so really,
Anyway, I think we're engaging the community a lot with the official community plan and with the community forest, but like, it's fine.
It's fine, too
It's fine.
boring, but fine, but no suggestions, okay.
No, and I don't really want to like engage in a big community engagement process when we have a lot of community engagement going on and upcoming
And an election.
and an election.
you know, a future council is free to change the name and do whatever they want. If they find it too boring, they could call it the Leonard Casely stage.
Mosses and mosh pit. Never mind. This is getting really out of hand.
Okay, I'm calling the question.
Wait, we've got more to talk.
No, we don't.
Oh, I'm on the wrong one.
We have that. God. Recognition crest policy.
I'll move it to get it on the table.
For discussion.
That was a word salad. Holy smokes, I mean,
Yeah.
I was like exhausted. I think I had to have a nap after reading that thing. I mean, there was, okay, what is it? Let me pull it up, 1.3. Just this as an example, like it makes sense to me, but I think I had a headache when I finished reading it.
Question to staff, did you use AI at all in developing this?
Oh, of course, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so if we, like, it makes sense, but oh man, a lot there. I guess one thing that, okay, so we go down to 1.3, should we choose? I don't know, just a second. There it is, okay. I'll get there eventually, it won't take me more than a couple hours.
Yeah. You went there
I went to the
here,
site.
so-
I had it opened earlier, sorry, your worship.
No, it's not.
Was it 1.3? Okay, so I don't get it. Staff must not use a letter of support or other communication to accomplish indirectly what this policy does not authorize directly. Well, I got that smoke coming up my ears. What does that mean?
So when we're talking about the creation of the proclamations policy, some other things that were not necessarily you guys at the table were not using the word proclamation, but in the end result, it was essentially a proclamation, like writing a letter of support saying we support this cause is not much different than proclaiming it to be a thing. So that's to say that we can't write a letter of support that to like secretly skirt this policy. It's trying to close loopholes.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable adopting this tonight. I feel like I would want it to go to committee of the whole and have like more discussion. And B, yeah, I felt like I read it again and was like, do I fully understand this? I feel like it's pretty restrictive and I'm not sure where things that we have done and would continue to do fit in this, like Remembrance Day. Like where did, like that feels like that's an awareness day. It's an awareness month. It's a commemorative date. Like we are going to continue to honor Remembrance Day and be a part of that. And, you know, many municipalities, you know, raise the pride flag during Pride Month and that's, you know, like very common practice. And so I was kind of like, at first I was like, does it mean that we can't issue new things? I'm not really sure because it also says we can't publish, post, present, recognize, you know, do anything that's already existing. And then I got a little bit nervous. So I was going to refer this to committee of whole for more discussion.
Yeah, it's on this
Right.
agenda because I promised I would bring it to the August agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is it's in line with that weird one sentence resolution policy that we had before that the village was not following. But
Yeah.
I don't get opinions, but I do agree with you that it should be workshopped more.
Yeah, and then like it feels extremely restrictive to adopt this right ahead of a new council coming in. And I just don't know where things like Remembrance Day, fit with this.
I'll second the referral motion.
I'm not finished talking.
You gotta.
Sorry.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
deal with the,
Yeah.
one on the table first.
Okay,
It might two bits work, under legislative framework in this agreement, section 157 of the community charter allows council to declare or the mayor to proclaim a day of recognition in a municipality. The village has the legal authority to issue proclamations. Part of me does not like council giving away any of its authority on anything. 2.5. When staff issue a letter of support, CAO or corporate officer must provide a copy to council. For information as soon as practicable, council notification is for transparency only and does not constitute council approval, endorsement, ratification, or direction. A staff level letter of support does not require placement on a council agenda unless the request falls outside staff authority. Under this policy, or the CAO or corporate officer determines that council direction is required. If I were to at all be able to accept this as it stands, I would want added a staff level letter of support may be placed on a council agenda at the request of the mayor. But having said all that, I agree with Councilor Hellman and Fike on referral. I'd like to compliment staff on the hard work they've done on this. However, I would like to suggest it be, I don't know, policy or just something done at the end of documents, a sentence be put that this document was compiled with the aid of AI. Because I'm running into that a lot out there in the world that's being done.
I'll call a question on the motion.
Good, you get to vote.
So we're gonna make another motion for referral, correct?
Yeah,
You can, yeah.
I will.
Yeah, so we're not gonna vote for this. Because we're gonna have to vote.
Voting no.
Voting for referral here, that's all.
No, referral isn't on the table. It's only for,
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to refer this to committee of the whole.
I'll second.
And I just do want to also thank staff for putting this together so quickly. And the work that was put into it, because yeah, it takes a lot of work and I feel a little bit badly just pushing it forward, but I think that's what's needed at this point.
I'll second that too. Thanks, Carrie.
Okay, I need some more direction on what it's not clear, yeah, sorry. What that referral looks like for the September committee of the whole meeting. And then the other question is the resolution at the last meeting was maintaining the no proclamations approach. But now I'm hearing question marks about that.
I guess I think I had a more narrow idea of what proclamations, and I thought it was more like council could not proclaim something new completely, like completely out of the box. But other like things that have already been established that are, Canadian or provincial, like recognized commemorative dates or months or whatever, that council would still be able to honor those in some way. That was, and maybe that was my misunderstanding of what a full proclamation might mean.
well, I think this is a great first step. It's
Mhm.
something-
Yeah, I just think to know where to go with changing it before.
I don't think it's an agenda.
No, just
Until you get,
We'll represent this
committee of the whole where we can have more discussion.
and then
and then adopt it right before the election. days of.
Not necessarily.
Not so much the
Yeah.
problem, because it's a policy,
Yeah,
right? So that's not a big issue. I just need to read it a couple more times
Mhm.
and just get it straight in my head, because I read it twice too. And it's like, oh man, there's so much there, and to actually keep everything in my little mind. It's just a bit of a trial. I wouldn't mind just having another chew on it.
And sometimes when we've adopted policies, I think of our like procedure, well, actually, yeah. There's policies and bylaws like in the very beginning of our term that we were adopting that we had a committee of the whole. We gave back direction for changes. It came back to committee of the whole. We did it again. And so like I thought it might not be this council that adopts this.
okay.
Like
That's true.
I would ease I wouldn't put pressure on that. It's like we can discuss it committee of the whole if it feels like we have enough direction to approve it before the next council, great. If not, they can continue to workshop it and change it.
I love when resolutions don't require me to do any work committee.
Yeah, just move it to a different agenda.
But thanks for asking.
Yeah.
We can work on that.
Okay. Any other questions? Question, all in favor?
Correspondence.
Okay, the handball letter.
I just, in my typical fashion, would like to respond to Terry Anwell and say thank you for writing to council and acknowledge their concerns. And that, you know, maybe the orientation can be considered when it gets redone. Like it's not gonna last forever. And so that could be made a note of. I don't know if it's how that works, the painting of it. But yeah, I always like to have council acknowledge a piece of correspondence and say thank you for writing. Keep this in mind with when it needs to be replaced.
I'd like to also make a comment on this one. The village Facebook page to date, there are 429 likes for our pavement design and no dislikes. Council's all about trying to do what the majority wants and likes, and I think in this case, it's clear. The majority is very happy with the design we've put in front of the Senate. There's always someone that's not going to be happy. It's our job to do what we think the majority likes and wants, and I believe we have, so. End of discussion for me.
I'm with Councillor Hammond and Moss too, when it needs to be redone, fine. But I think it's a great gesture. I mean, having a father that was in the army in the war, it's just like, okay, this is a good thing. The fact that the stem doesn't point quite the right way, doesn't detract from the intent.
And don't forget, the villages of Slocum, Silverton, and New Denver as part of the Veterans Project are co-owners of the template. So if it's a legal issue at some point in time, I don't think it is, but we're fully capable of changing the direction of a maple leaf if it's required. Okay.
So direction is that to recommend making them for this. Okay, that one's done. Okay, the
It's a Matatall letter. This person wants traffic calming on Third Avenue because of the traffic to the campground. My thinking is, well, why not the same thing on First? Because traffic to the boat launch, the campground, and the Coham, why not on Second? Because you've got traffic down to the Nickeye. I guess my question would be to staff. We've already done a traffic calming study, but was that just for 8th Avenue and area? Yeah, so it would be my suggestion to this person that they bring this to the incoming council and ask them possibly to do a work through the traffic calming study. But it's obviously not in our budget now to commit funds to traffic calming on Third, but I think that might be the best overall approach.
The letters to this person would
I would think so, yeah.
suggest such. I mean, I live on First and yeah, there's a lot of traffic, but it's not really. Maybe Third is different. I'm not sure, but I mean, I live on the boat launch route.
Yeah, it's a traffic calming study, like we did up on Eighth.
I'd like to suggest that instead of just telling them to rewrite the incoming council, that we refer their letter to the future council for budget considerations, and then we write the Jim and say, as this is a budgetary, has budgetary implications, we're referring it to the next council to discuss
Good
the
idea.
budget. I just don't want to ask Jim to rewrite. Like,
No, I agree. That sounds good, Carrie. You got it?
Well, I think we've got to understand too, there's a lot that goes into that. There's engineering and everything else, because it's huge liability for the village.
Mhm.
Like, it's not just staff going and sticking this stuff out there. It has to be engineered, there has to be the proper maintenance, distances from the center for passing traffic, so incoming, because the village is liable for it. So it's not a simple little task, and because everyone wants it on maybe the laneway. Because we hear of laneways that are too busy in traffic all the time, like there's one that goes to the hospital that we've heard for years.
Yeah.
But I think the public needs to realize this is just not throwing these things out. And we're also taking comments on the webpage. Or the one on,
We just take, at this time, just in the office.
oh, yeah,
And
yeah. Because they're, as well as everything else that we find as you sit at this table, is that some people are happy and some people are not.
Well, just a bit more too, because there's a bit of a pothole that's been filled twice by the village. And when somebody goes by with a boat that's not tied, or they've got fishing rods, or the motor's not done, they hit this pothole and it's so loud. And I can just picture now, if we put speed bumps up, somebody blows an axle on their RV, and it's a dead RV in the middle of First. And who are they're gonna sue everybody in a kilometer.
Well, they're,
So it's like, there's, like you say, your worship. It's just like, oh, it's pothole enough, and it's, anyway, I won't go on, but it's just the liability. People are gonna be claiming that even if they didn't break their axle, they're gonna be claiming that they could be claiming. That it happened on First Avenue or Third. Yep.
just to speak to that grant funding that we received for Ethan, and, yeah, we also received it for Goody Street. It seems that they open every fall, September, close November. So that is likely this fall. Division 0.
I know, I mean, I'll just go again, the Okanagan has ones on several locations around Cow Lake. And they're not the bolt-in kind, they're the big kind.
Yeah.
But they're engineered, they gotta be really expensive too, but they're engineered, so you do it at 30. And it's like, oh, it's okay, do it at 35, and it's just like, the books are hitting the ceiling and stuff. I don't know what they do with the angle, but
yeah,
it's nuts how the difference in speed, all of a sudden, is just like night and day, it's crazy.
are you testing them?
I know, testing
25, do it 30,
Because they've
35,
got signs
40.
before every one, and I'm daydreaming, and wham, you hit this thing, but it doesn't blow your axle. What it does, it just shoots you up in the air kind of thing. It doesn't, those ones that are just like bumps that are that
yeah,
wide and
well,
that
those,
high.
yeah, they're different, they're called different.
Yeah, but it actually, Jesus, ever wake you
The
up?
one
and
that's
tell you,
actually,
okay, yeah,
that's a rubber, like, see these are the ones that. And so they come up, they flatten and then they come.
yeah,
They're not, but like the ones where we have where they're only 6 inches or a foot wide, they're can cause damage, but anyways, you think it's bad this one to the boat, you should be trying into the broken hip and going by that pothole and hitting it with an ambulance.
You know, the one, well,
Yeah, I know exactly the one, yeah.
I've seen more people stop. They go over it on the way out
Yeah,
and they hit it and they just dead stop, put on the flashers and they're walking around.
well, yeah.
Which is, yeah, anyway, okay, enough.
Okay. Janice Summerfield.
And I hope this one. Yeah, I think this letter and related circumstances at least deserve some recognition and discussion. Unfortunately, the way things stand now, I don't see us being able to make an exception in this case, or that simply opens the door to a real mess, because when and where this council draw the line, what constitutes a valid reason for reimbursement and what doesn't. Unfortunate as these circumstances are for this person, I just don't see any way around it personally.
I've had to have two compassionate flights. And the person had to be next of kin, and I had to supply them with either funeral home director's letter or death certificate, and there's something else with doctors that designated or the assigned physician's signature with a letter to get on the airlines and get a compassionate price. And this person is a close friend that died, and I really, my heart goes out. But I'm kind of agreeing with you, Colin, boss, that it's a tough one, but I don't think we can bend on this one, otherwise it just opens a whole bunch of other things.
That's the hard part of being on council, is sometimes you have to make decisions you don't want to make, but they're the only logical ones. That's why you have way less friends when you determine when you start it. You don't want to, but you decide to do it.
I mean, a lot of those, when they do that, like they actually, you have to.
Yeah.
Produce proof, and you don't get a refund, you get a reschedule.
I mean, just to book it, and there's other things like you have to fly within 10 days of when we booked it, and you have to supply all this stuff before you get on the plane. And which makes sense to me, otherwise, I mean, they've got to.
But in this case down here, like in the campground, if you're to consider policy change and stuff, those would be kind of the things that need to be.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, people just say, oh yeah, I had an uncle die.
exactly,
Mhm.
so. And my heart goes out, really.
I just wanted to say, this letter is one thing, but we have been receiving, several lately requests for refunds and rescheduling. So I think Colin is actually right, that it does really open up a lot of potential loss for the village.
Why do you say actually? Like it's-
Everybody knows what I mean.
Right.
Well, no, I don't think that's where to consider it. Because it's smoky out, there's not a reason to warrant the story, but.
Yeah, and that's the one
And
that's
that's
we've
the
been
biggest
fighting
one
with this week.
now,
yeah.
is that we receive tons of requests because it's smoky.
And I will say,
It's
It's-
smoky everywhere in the province, and quite honestly, it was smoky on the lake, but.
for staff, it's really nice to be able to lean on this policy and not have to decide on our own which ones to. be.
No, I would only be supportive in instances like this particular letter where, there's circumstances beyond your control. I wouldn't add anything else to it other than immediate family.
Mhm.
Personally,
Yeah.
that's my personal opinion. If I was taking that, that's what I think.
The only thing I could think of is we have a 2-week.
We already have, yeah.
Permit. The only thing I could think of is if it was. Between 2 weeks and 1 week, if we had a replacement booking. Then we could, but that's not the policy right now, but that's what I,
No,
Huge night.
it just,
Yeah.
the staff just gets,
It's a nightmare. How do you prove, we discussed that when we actually put that to in particular option and it just it turned into a real. Yeah, it is only in the sense of those kind of circumstances that I personally change any part of it, because actually the policy works fine now. And it's not a very big burden on staff, and staff are able to reiterate it, and people can see that before they book, and that's the only thing I do. Okay. Exclude.
So can we write her a letter back? Thanking her for her request and offering our condolences. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Okay. I'll make a motion to exclude.
Seven.
I voted.
Yes.
Give it, these two haven't voted.
Gonna say it's good night. I was gonna stop the.
I'm trying to get home for Dougie.